Hi, I'm Dave Nabity from Nabity Business Advisors. I got a question for you. Inside your company, do you have negotiations that need to be done to do something important with your company's stock? Do you have somebody that wants to sell? You got somebody that wants to buy? Are you trying to figure out what the value of the company should be? Are you working on the transition plan where maybe the parents are wanting to have some of the children take over the business and you're trying to figure it all out? So you call your attorney, you get your CPA, maybe you get your banker in the room, and you're all sitting around the table trying to figure out a deal, but it's just too difficult and you can't get the deal done? Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this report. Over the last year, we've worked quite a bit with a lot of different stockholders and business owners that have been trying to figure out how to transition the company. And they've got hours of time into it. They have tons of expense with professional advisors, and they still can't seem to get to a place where everybody has peace. They have a clear idea of where they're going, and they have the confidence that if they put this deal together, that it will work. So what am I talking about? One of the common things that we see is stockholders trying to figure out how to buy out the other. You might have parents, you might have aunts and uncles, you might have siblings in a business, and you know that they need to be bought out. The time is coming. They're getting to the age where they don't want to work anymore. You might be a part of the young generation and you know that you need to buy out their stock. But you're trying to figure out how are you going to do it and how are you going to afford it. Maybe you've been given the opportunity to buy into a new company or buy out shareholders that are looking at retiring. A new opportunity's come up. You've been approached. People recognized you and they know who you are and they know your talent. And they've said, hey, look, we're thinking about selling and retiring. We want you to come in and take a look at our company and maybe buy us out. Maybe you already own a company and there's different shareholders involved, and one of them is a big problem. They might not be working. They might not be putting in the effort. They might be moving money in places where it shouldn't go. Maybe there's an addiction problem. Maybe there's alcoholism or something with this shareholder. You got a problem on your hands and you've got to figure out a way to deal with it and get this person out of the company. Maybe you found yourself in a business that you might be the third or the fourth generation and you've got way too many stockholders. There's just too many. You've got aunts and uncles and grandchildren that are all over the country that are stockholders in the company. They have nothing to do with the business. They have no management oversight whatsoever, and yet, guess what? They want a dividend. They want a distribution. You got to figure out a way to streamline the ownership of the company so you can get it down into the family tree that's actually managing or running the business. Maybe you find yourself in a situation where you are the owner of the company and you've got some kids working in the business and some aren't working in the business, but the business makes up most of what your estate's all about. You want to push the stock to the kids that are running the business and involved in management, but you love the other kids just as well, and you're stuck. You can't figure out how to put together a strategic plan for your estate that's fair, so that when mom and dad are gone, the children still love each other and want to spend time together on the holidays. Lastly here, maybe you found yourself in a business where you don't have any family in the business, and you've got some really sharp people working for you that you want to try to figure out a way to allow them to become owners, to step up in the leadership positions within the company and have a chance to become stockholders and maybe be the people that actually buy you out when you retire. So all of these things, everything I've talked about here, are the common problems that we see our clients dealing with on a regular basis. What we find often is the idea is, well, let's get professional advisor A and let's get this professional advisor B in a room and maybe pull our banker together and we'll work with them. We'll work with our accountants and attorneys and we'll figure this out. And the thing that we have found when we're working with these clients is the client doesn't really realize that the CPA can't really tell you what to do because they've got financial liability if what they tell you to do doesn't work out. They can give you ideas, they can give you tax advice, but they really can't tell you what to do. The lawyers, on the other hand, they can tell you all the legal ramifications about doing this versus that, but they can't really say, Joe, Tom, Bill, this is what you need to do. This is the plan that makes sense. Neither one of them can do it. Guess what? Our firm can. So here's our process. First thing we like to do is sit down with the stockholders and get a great understanding of what's going on inside the company. We like to look at the org charts and see what the management team looks like, identify which family members are active, which family members are not active in the business. We like to look at the finances and get a good handle on what the valuations of the company would be so that we've got an idea what kind of money that we're talking about. And we spend a lot of time looking at those financial statements to figure out what the cash flow of the business looks like so we know if we're going to start buying out stockholders or if we need to do that, we've got a good understanding of how you're going to make it happen and make sure that it'll work so you don't strip all the working capital out of the company trying to buy out some shareholders. We also do a big assessment on the people. We want to understand how they act, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, where the talent is, where maybe the talent isn't, looking at who's got the right leadership positions, and really work hard to understand the dynamics of what's going on inside that company. What comes out of us then is a really good instinct on what needs to happen here with this company. And then what we'll do is we'll build a proposal, we'll build a presentation to demonstrate where we are, where the company needs to go, and what are the steps to get us on the right path so we work out a strategy that's for the greater good of everybody involved in the company so that at the end of the day, mom and dad are taken care of, the retiring shareholders are taken care of, the new management team that is buying out the shareholders has figured out a way to make it happen without bankrupting the company. And if we've really done our job well, the children will still love each other when mom and dad are gone. The business will be run by the people that are the most talented. Hopefully, you will not see the business being gutted and sold off to some outside company where people lose their employment. And the most talented people in your organization with the most entrepreneurial skills will be given an opportunity to step up and become stockholders and carry on the legacy of the company that you've built. That's what we do. We do that well. If you need that kind of help, give me a call. I'm Dave Nabity at Nabity Business Advisors. Thanks so much.